This video was sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. Before we jump into another Forgotten Realms draft, I want to remind everyone that my content is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store and pre-order all the cards I'm going to draft in this video there. If you click on the link in the description below on YouTube or the logo below on Twitch, you'll use my referral link, so you're helping me out too, so check them out. So, we got a pretty good rare. Not necessarily one that you always take over all the commons and uncommons, but Loyal Warhound is pretty sweet in terms of, you know, just being an efficient creature who also can ramp for you, which is cool. It's pretty close to the best card in this pack, I think. I think it and, like, Purple Worm are comparable. You know, the Worm needs a little setup. Owlbear's pretty good, too. I guess it's kind of on the same level, actually. And Devoted Paladin's kind of in there, too, I think. I think the Worm has the highest ceiling. And that's kind of where I'm considering going, because if you can play this on turn 5, it's real hard for your opponent to win, and it's not that hard to make that happen. Owlbear being a 2-for-1 is nice, but it does cost 5. It's not as impressive as like a Serolf's Packmate type card. Contact Other Plane's pretty good too, but yeah, it's kind of a tier below. I think I'll take Purple Worm, like a little more than that Warhound. Okay, so Kreidel is good enough that I think I'm probably going to take him here, even though we just took a green card. I mean, he's good enough. You know, he's just an amazing signpost uncommon that I'm pretty inclined to go there. The Black Staff of Waterdeep is too hard to make work in this format. It really is frustrating. They decided not to make it work on Treasure, but maybe it'd be too busted for Constructed if they did that. It'd be really good and Limited if it did that too, but, you know. Yeah, so probably take Kreidel. You know, the green card here is okay, but not great, and Kreidel's good. Grim Bounty's also quite good. We could take the removal instead, but I honestly think Kreidel's like a step above Grim Bounty, so I'm going to take Kreidel here. There's less of a chance we play Kreidel, but he's pretty darn good, so we'll see where things take us. Okay. So, Trelisar is good, but not as good as some of the other signposts, just because she takes a little bit of work. Thank you for the follow, Y Bounding. I'm probably going to take Spoils of the Hunt here. It's a nice removal spell. Tiger Tribe Hunter is pretty cool, too. I'm kind of considering the Hunter. But I think I like Spoils of the Hunt a little more. It's a good removal spell. You know, it's Rabid Bite at instant speed for 1 more mana with some slight treasure upside, which is cool. So we'll take the spoils there. So, you know, 2 pretty good green cards and a Kreidel. Like I said, I mean, I think he's worth speculating on. He's good all game long in a way that basically no 2-drops are. Although there's a few in that. There are a few pretty good 2-drops in this format. 2 of them are signpost uncommons, and you have that the unblockable guy and stuff like that. Okay, so Minion of the Mighty, not so good in Limited. I think people are kind of excited about it in Constructed because of silly combos that take like 4 cards. You know, I don't know if I'm a believer. But yeah, it's not great here. Evolving Wilds is something you shouldn't sleep on. It is a pretty nice little land in terms of fixing. That said, what are we interested in here? Both Fly and Contact Other Plane and Evolving Wilds are all reasonable cards. Fly goes pretty well with the Kreidel theme, which is, you know, blue-black's all about Saboteur triggers. But, you know, it's not an amazing card by any stretch. This is an okay green card. Wild Shape's a little less okay. Maybe I just take the Wilds. You know, this pack's not that exciting. Contact Other Plane's a little interesting, but I think I'm just going to take Evolving Wilds here. It makes your mana better no matter what deck you're in. So, you know, that's the kind of thing I'm pretty interested in. So Clever Conjurer is good if we end up in a ramp deck, and we could be a blue-green ramp deck. Portable Hull is okay. Deals with all the classes, which definitely matters. Green cards here are okay. The Basilisk, especially. This is significantly less than okay, actually. I think we'd probably take the Conjurer here. I like Split the Party okay, but like, you only want 1, and they're kind of finicky, and we may not really be in a deck that wants it, but it's okay. I think we take the Conjurer. It's good in the ramp deck. And it just made a really weird sound, too. So, you know, that's another reason to take it. You know, Evolving Wilds just makes splashing so much easier when you only have to run like one basic to splash something. Okay, then. Well, this is a second Krydle, and I kind of think I'm supposed to take it, and that may mean we're jettisoning this stuff. We may splash Spoils of the Hunt. There's another one here, but 2 Krydles is pretty hard to say no to. That's like the base of a really good blue-black deck. I'm just gonna put these over here for now, because if we're getting 2 Krydles, probably means the other people haven't been that interested in blue-black the first few picks. So. Okay. Well, Zombie Ogre's okay. Not as interesting in this deck. I think we probably just want Air Cult Elemental. You know, it's a gigantic mana war. You know I'm always in for that. Silver Raven's kind of okay. The Ogre's definitely better than it, though. I want the Air Cult Elemental here, though. So yeah, this color pair generally is interested in Saboteur effects, as they're called. Effects that do something when you do combat damage to a player. Thieves' Tools is pretty good in such a deck, but it gets a little less good when you already have 2 Krydles anyway, I feel like. It might still be what we want to take here. It also helps us splash. Clever Conjurer is okay. He's not going to be as good in this deck as he is in like the blue-green deck. Shocking Grasp is okay too. I think we just take the tools. I mean, it's kind of for this deck. Makes a small thing unblockable, gives you a treasure. You know, we're going to end up, theoretically, with more things with good Saboteur triggers. So, yeah. All right. So, this still being here is a little crazy, but it's not enough to pull me away from what we're doing. I think we just grab Contact Other Plane, which is a nice draw spell. Maybe we'll roll a 20. We didn't have a single die roll card in our first deck of the day, so we didn't get to... We did go dungeon crazy, though, and this time around we're probably not going to be so dungeon crazy, so evens out, I guess. Pixie Guides are kind of okay no matter what. The Herald's all right. I think I kind of like Vampire Spawn more than both of them in this deck. The Guide is good if you have enough dice roll things, but if you're not in blue-red, that's pretty unlikely. It's pretty unlikely. So... do I want a second Spawn more than I want a Herald of Hadar? I kind of think I do. I mean, this deck is going to be about sort of chipping in damage with, like, Krydle and stuff, and Vampire Spawn does that. Here I think we take a Fate's Reversal over a second Contact Other Plane. Gives us one card that ventures. We did get a Split the Party. It came back. Gives us a card that ventures, but also it can get back a Krydle or a Vampire Spawn, which has a nice trigger, so... I do think Price of Loyalty is going to be better in this format than basically any version of this effect we've seen in a while, because there's lots of common and uncommon ways to sacrifice things cheaply. Well, this is interesting. So Varus is really good. You know, bomb level good. Sort of lower tier bomb just because it's as fragile as it is, but he's obviously crazy good in terms of venturing. And if this were pack one, pick one, I think that's what the pick would be. It would just be Varus all the way. Given what we're doing, though, I think I'd probably just take the Death Priest. You know, we've already got 2 vampires. We're going to get more creatures with those types. And we're not going to be as good as, like, Black-Green is at making the skeletons, but we'll make them. You know, it's a fine card. Another small creature we can make unblockable. Does not have a Saboteur trigger, but it can become unblockable. Okay, so I don't love Deadly Dispute here. You know, it's good in the treasure deck, basically, and not that good anywhere else. I think we probably just take Check for Traps. It's a fine discard spell, kind of relevant all game long. I like it more than Pixie Guide or Silver Raven in this deck. I guess, yeah, I'm going to take Check for Traps. The D20 stuff could end up being interesting for us, but I don't think we're quite there. Okay, this is a pretty good pack for us. I like Sign of Stygia a lot, but I kind of feel like we're more interested in unblockable. We have 3 cards to make our guys unblockable at this point, and that probably means we want to start taking things that have Saboteur triggers, like the Yuan Ti Fangblade. Scion of Stygia is pretty good too, but I think this goes more with what we're trying to do right now. I wouldn't mind a Baleful Beholder at the top of the curve either. Menace to Everything is pretty good, but the Fangblade's going to be good in this deck. So I think we want him. Okay, so this is something we could splash that might be interesting. We do have the Evolving Wilds and the Thieves' Tools, so splashing Shastra isn't the craziest thing to do. Trickster's Talisman also seems pretty good in terms of like doubling up on, you know, maybe an Air Cult Elemental or one of our Saboteur guys. The Conjurer, like I said, not great here. You come to a River's pretty good in this deck because, you know, either mode can help you get in with a Saboteur trigger. I think the Talisman's a little better, though. They made a lot of reasonable equipment in this set, and I'm pretty happy about it. All right, here we're going to take Charmed Sleep. Nice removal. This is removal we could splash, but I don't think it's about as good, I think, as Charmed Sleep. You know, they both have downsides. Yeah, I think we go for Charmed Sleep. If, you know, if this were blue, we would take it, and if this was white, we wouldn't. So that's kind of the main thing determining my decision here. Okay. So another Charmed Sleep or a Scion of Stygia. Probably another Charmed Sleep. I like the Scion a fair bit, but I like Charmed Sleep more. Okay, so we've got some nice things here. Manticore is not bad. I kind of like the Ghast more. It's another source of treasure, so our ability to splash things goes up. I don't hate Bar the Gate, but if we're not that good at venturing, it's not going to be that good overall, and I don't think we're that good at venturing. We do have this, like, you know, that's repeatable venturing, but I'm not that excited about it. Okay, well, you know, this is a reason to be venturing a bunch, but it's still, that ship has kind of sailed for us. I think we're looking here at, like, Pixie Guide, you know, or Frost Giant or Manticore. They're all kind of medium. You know, this is really good in blue-red. I guess I'm going to take the Manticore. We don't have an overwhelming amount of removal, and it's pretty good at, you know, sort of picking things off sometimes. I don't love it, but didn't really love anything else in that pack either. So we're a little lower on triggers than I would like to be. Not anything here we want to splash. We'll just grab this Silver Raven, which I don't think is going to make the cut, but, you know, it's a cool card. You know, I'm always happy about birds. Birds and rodents. Okay, so here I think we take a Pixie Guide over a Raven. The Pixie Guide's definitely more likely to make the cut in this deck. Thank you for the follow, Jay Lambo. You know, we probably need like 4 or 5 die roll things to want to play the Guide, but we basically never want to play the Raven. I don't think. I mean, you know, you can play it and it's not the worst card in the world, but it's the weakest card in our deck for sure. How are we doing on zombies and stuff? So we've got 1 Ghast, 2 Vampire Spawns. I think that's it right now in terms of things that get buffed by our Death Priest. I mean, you know, the good news is if we don't end up with that many Saboteur triggers, Kreidels is just good all on its own, so, you know. Yeah, I guess. I mean, Spoils of a Hunt's definitely the best card here, and there's kind of an outside chance we splash it, but we already have 1, I guess, so probably not, but... Okay, so do I want a Conjurer or another Guide? I mean, if I get another Guide, I should start thinking D20 cards are a little better. I just don't think we look like much of a ramp deck, so I kind of feel like the second Guide is better than the second Conjurer. I don't hate Zombie Ogre. We're not good at venturing, but... I haven't seen any of the 3/2 rogues that draw its cards, have I? Have I just passed them? Because that would be bad. Sometimes I do that. Early in formats especially. But I would like that card a lot. So, interesting. Treasure Chest is kind of cool, and we do have 2 Pixie Guides, which will make it better. I'm not sure it's something we're super interested in, though. We probably should just take Charmed Sleep. Charmed Sleep is pretty good. Another removal spell. Pretty good on removal. So what we really want now are more We need kind of a better win condition than we have right now. Some big ol' creature. One of the dragons, either the black or blue one, would be pretty good for us. The uncommons, that is. And yeah, other creatures like Drider would be pretty good in this deck because we have lots of ways of getting blockers out of the way. Wouldn't mind Drider. That'd be a good finisher. Yeah. Yeah. We do have the capability of splashing pretty much anything that only has one colored mana symbol of a not blue or black color. So that's something to keep our eyes open for. It does increase the chances of us finding a finisher because we can, you know, we have got the wilds and we've got 2 treasure makers, at least 2 treasure makers, right? So that's cool. Well, there's another air cult elemental. I mean, it's not the most ideal win condition, but it does seem like it's a good fit for our deck. The investigator's not bad, and it does get better with 2 pixie guides, but I kind of think second air elemental seems pretty reasonable here. It's a big flyer, bounces a thing, you know, works for me. If we're not good at venturing, I doubt we end up playing Zombie Ogre. Yeah. So Ray of Enfeeblement's nice. Okay, so we've got some options here. We could pick up another Saboteur creature, and one that ventures, so it would power up our venture stuff a little bit, just having it. There's also a Ray of Enfeeblement, though, which is a pretty good card overall, and insane against white decks, but pretty good all on its own. We do have a lot of removal already, thanks to our 3 Charmed Sleeps, but it's kind of where I'm leaning anyway. I think we grab the Ray here. It's just so efficient. Like, if it was just -4, -1, it would be like a C that you play almost all the time. And then with the white upside, it's just, like, crazy good. So, okay. So, interesting. Wouldn't mind a creature land, but splashing one is suboptimal. I don't think we want another Talisman. I think we'll take Shortcut Seeker. We have enough ways to make it unblockable that it could actually matter in our deck. Yeah. I think we take the Seeker. We're not really going to need Split the Party. I feel like it's going to be... I mean, I do want to play with it because it's such a weird card to evaluate, so maybe I just do it anyway. Yeah, the Giant is something we could use, perhaps, as a finisher. I don't really want another Thieves' Tools or another Fate's Reversal very much. I may just grab another Evolving Wilds. It's kind of looking like we're just going to be a 2-color deck, but it still makes our mana so much better that I'm kind of okay with that. Yeah. So I kind of think Zombie Ogre might make it now. We have 2 repeatable sources of venture that are that we can make unblockable. So the Zombie Ogre looks a little better. We have some treasures, so the Hexblade is interesting. I think, you know, Ray of Frost is fine, but I have 3 Charmed Sleeps, which are better against most people. I think I probably grab the Hexblade. I'm kind of thinking we're not playing the guides, most likely. I guess we'll see, but we don't have a ton of treasure, but I think we have enough. Okay, so another Ray of Enfeeblement's tempting, but we need something like Genie Wingseer, just a flyer, efficient flyer. I mean, could be a win condition, so... Yeah, it's always weird when you have, like, all the fixing you could ever want to, like, splash a thing, and then you don't really get anything worth splashing. So, do I want another Hired Hexblade or another Shortcut Seeker? Probably the Hexblade, just because it's a 2-drop, honestly. Yeah, this deck's interesting, because I kind of don't feel like we got there on, like, Blue-Black Synergy in the end, but it seems alright. Seems alright. Ooh, I don't hate this late Arcane Investigator, honestly. I mean, it's not amazing, but... does maybe give us a reason to leave in a Pixie Guide. How many D20 cards do we have in the end? We've got Genie Windseer, contact other plane. And that. Oh, yeah, we'll take a Rhyme Shield Giant now, because we could use just a big guy. Thieves' Tools is interesting, especially because we picked up 2 Hex Blades, but I still don't see it being that great in our deck overall. Yeah, that Barbarian can destroy. There are a lot of things it can destroy in this format. This deck doesn't seem nearly as good as our first one today, but it seems aight. Yeah, maybe we want to leave in Pixie Guides. I think all of our dungeon cards are going to be kind of medium, but we do have 1 Fang Blade and 1 Shortcut Seeker, and they can both become unblockable. I mean, we could probably think about trimming down on some things. So how many ways do we have to make treasure? We've got the Gasp, we've got Thieves' Tools, and that's it, right? So maybe Hexblade's just not that good for us. Yeah, I mean, it's mostly just going to be a 2-mana 2/2, and we have other 2-drops. Like, I think Pixie Guide and Arcane Investigator will probably be better on average. I mean, neither of them are great, but I think I cut at least 1 Hexblade, and maybe we cut 1 Hexblade and 1 Pixie Guide, sort of mix it up a little bit. Seems like an okay place to start. Are we interested enough in ramping that we even want this Clever Conjurer? Do we have any other combos with it that involve tapping things? Not really. Yeah, I don't love it here. I mean, we do have a 6, but it doesn't seem great for our deck. Manticore is not awesome. I think we have plenty of removal that isn't as situational. We have other flyers. Yeah, so probably don't want the Manticore. I think the Gas seems fine. I mean, it's not really weak in any deck, I don't think. I think literally any black deck, it's like a C, you know? It's just good at what it does. I think it's fine here. The treasure thing's not going to happen much, but that's okay. And it'll matter sometimes, so... So Shortcut Seeker is pretty medium. I'm a little leaning towards Split the Party. It's just such an awkward card. Like I said, I do want to play with it to get a feeling for it. But maybe I'll let other people play it to get a feeling for it, you know? Play it against me. Yeah, I think maybe, and then we lose Check for Traps. We're not that, I mean... These cards that don't actually do anything, like Check for Traps, I mean, you know, the Split the Party will do a thing sometimes, but it doesn't do something a lot of the time. Thieves' Tools is kind of awkward in the end in the deck. It does make several of our creatures, almost all our creatures, I guess, do become unblockable from it, but we just didn't really get there. Like, the 3-mana 3/2 guy that draws you a card would have been great, and we just didn't get him. Yeah, it's always harder to make cuts at the beginning when you're, like, a little less sure of what you like and don't like. I kind of think Thieves' Tools is unnecessary. I mean, we've even got Fate's Reversal to get back a dead Krydle. I just don't think Thieves' Tools is that good for us. Krydle can do the same thing, and we don't really need the treasure desperately. Which maybe weakens the Hexblade enough now that we're down to 1 card that makes treasure. Does the Hexblade become weak enough that I want to put something else in? I mean, it's still a 2-mana 2/2, so probably not. Manticore, Check for Traps, these things aren't that exciting. All right. I mean, the Pixie's not going to be great, that's for sure, but I don't really know what I would put in instead. I do agree that the tools are good, but when I have 2 Krydles that do the same thing and only have, like, 4 creatures who can really abuse being unblockable, although... You know, maybe I want... I mean, just being able to put those on Krydle and not having to pay mana for him over the course it's kind of a thing, but probably not enough of a thing. Our last deck had like tons of rares. So we'll see. Yeah. Yeah, I like Thieves' Tools overall, but it just doesn't seem right in this deck. This hand's fine. The Evolving Wilds is going to help us. If we can go Vampire Spawn, Death Priest, that's not too bad. Okay, so we're up against something really aggressive, and we don't currently have anything to do until turn 3, so that might not bode well, especially if they go Goblin crazy here, which is definitely possible. Oh, yeah, there's another Goblin. So next turn, if they play like the Bugbear, I'm gonna be in some trouble. I can tell you that. The Spawn will sort of help us get back into good shape, but okay, good. It's just an Armory Veteran, you know. They didn't completely destroy us, which I'm happy for, and it does mean that our Vampire Spawn will kind of hold the line here, gain us back some life, gets itself in a good position to block. Obviously, if they attack all, I can't block the Captain, but I can try to block the other stuff. They could have a trick, but I kind of feel okay about the idea of making them use one. They're definitely like a mono-red aggro deck, I feel like. So a trick is likely. Yeah, that's gross. My goodness. Yeah, we're really going to get run over here. Our deck is not well equipped for this situation. Okay. God, I guess we play the Windseer. It's big enough to, like, rumble a little, and we can scry a little. 1, to be exact. I guess a 5th land is nice enough. Could let us Charm Sleep plus Hexblade, which I don't hate. But yeah, they're just running us over in a hurry. Wow. So... yeah. Looks like they have removal. Yeah. I don't think we're coming back. No. Even Hexblade, like, even if I go Hexblade, Charmed Sleep on Captain, I'm still dead. Yeah. This is another really slow hand, but at least we're on the play. You know, I made sure to put 2s in, but we didn't see them last game. Hopefully we don't get punished as much for not having them this time. I mean, the way this has gone, it's like our curve is the worst thing ever, and it's not great, but it's better than it's played. That's for sure. Okay, well, our opponent's not playing anything, so I like that part. We may get to play Shortcut Seeker and just get going on ventures and stuff. Okay, so that's an interesting play. I think I probably just want to Charmed Sleep this. Next turn we can play our Frost Giant, who should be pretty nice overall. Yeah, he's looking pretty good. Let's play the Frost Giant here. Sounds pretty sweet, Grayson. Okay, well, I think we have some nice size on our side of the table. I think we just play out Shortcut Seeker and the Arcane Investigator here and end our turn. This can only get to a 4/4, so it's not exactly a world beater on this board. Opponent's going for some ramp and some venture. Ooh, that's a good draw. So we can get that 2/4 out of the way and swing out. Seems pretty good. So they can trade for the Investigator if they want to. Yeah, and they will. But I hit them for 6 and I get to venture. We don't have so much venture that I think we'll be able to make really good use of this, but maybe we'll make our guy hit them enough that we will. I kind of feel like this is probably the better option, though. Yeah. When you don't have a ton of ways to scry... Ooh, my. Drawing back-to-back air cult elementals is a beautiful thing. Our deck's weird in that we don't have that many, like, one-shot ventures, but we have 2 repeatable ventures, so... She is a problem. The good news is... Okay. Well, I guess we probably bounce the Druid again. Yeah. I guess we'll swing out. I mean, they're just going to block the Shortcut Seeker, but what the heck, you know? All right, so it hits them for 6. They're at 8. We've got 4 damage in the air, plus a removal spell in our hand. Was one of these about to get archeried out of the sky? Kind of feels like it. So we can hit that with Charmed Sleep and just rumble again. So I think we're in pretty good shape there. Yeah. So we go Charmed Sleep on the Windseer. Swing with everything again. Yeah. That time, things went significantly better. Our opponent was also incredibly slow. That was important. Neither of us did anything for the first several turns. I haven't gotten a turn 2 Krydle yet. That would be nice. Especially on the play. Right, looks solid. Got one of our early creatures for one thing. And this would have been pretty effective against that mono red deck that ran us over. Yeah, that's a pretty annoying thing for them to play against Shambling Ghast, because, like, the trade... It's probably just not worth it. Yeah... I mean, it keeps them from ramping, and I get a treasure, I guess, so it's not like a disaster, but... Yeah, I'm actually going to go for it. I don't hate the treasure, because the treasure will let me play a 3-drop this turn. So then I can just play out the Fangblade. Turn 2 Fangblade's not bad, you know, and it was a 1-for-1 trade. It's not like we gave up anything crazy to make it happen. Okay, so let's rumble with this Fangblade. We're gonna venture. Yeah, still think we're interested in the mines. We're never gonna get to the reward on the other ones. So we don't have a 4th land, so I think I just bottom that. We really need more mana, like Air Cult Elemental and stuff like that will set us up. Player spawn here. I would like to draw some blue mana so that I could play Charmed Sleep on whatever blocker they might play here, but... You know, maybe they won't play a blocker. I'd be okay with that. Yeah, that trap does have a funny sound effect. Hey, so the question here is it worth using Charmed Sleep on a Direwolf Prowler just so I can venture again? I guess I get a Goblin token. It's probably where I would go. Maybe the Treasure, because it would mean I could play Air Cult Elemental next turn if I draw a land. Yeah, I guess I don't hate it. So yeah, let's Charmed Sleep. It's maybe a little more aggressive than I should be. But yeah, let's go with the treasure. I could play the Investigator now, but I think holding out hope for a land for our Air Cult Elemental is probably a good call. Maybe I'm a little magical Christmas land here and counting on drawing a land, but... Okay, so we're probably going to have to give up our Fang Blade here, but we trade, and then I can play Shortcut Seeker. Drop them to 10 in the process. Works for me. Yeah, play the Seeker. Thank you for the follow, 374 Barry. Come on, land. Land is a little less good against a creature like that, but it's probably still what we would do. Okay, well now I think we probably bounce the Fang Blade. That enables us to attack with both. Yeah. Drops them to 8. They can give up this creature now for a little bit of value, which is nice for them. Okay, well, I think now we just attack with our Air Cult Elemental and play Arcane Investigator. We don't have remotely good attacks, so other than that. So we've got a nice mana sink set up for next turn, because if we just draw a land, we get to at least use the Arcane Investigator's ability. I'm guessing they give up their Prowler here to draw a card. They haven't ventured at all. I'd probably just take the Fang Blade if they attack. Yeah, that's not good. Ooh, that is though, isn't it? Yeah. So we definitely get back Air Cult Elemental. Yeah, so Fate's Reversal. Get back our Air Cult Elemental. And we have them lose life. The -4 is interesting because actually it'll allow me to attack with my 2/5 and my 2/3. I think that's probably better. Yeah. Drops them to 4 instead of just dropping them to 5. I have a lot of mana. But I can probably bounce whatever they play. They don't quite have the Tarask mana. So that's good. That's good news. Okay. Don't love it. This would become a 3/4, but I don't think that's a big deal just yet. So I think we just play Air Cult Elemental here. Bounce the Fang Blade. And end our turn. We don't really want to give them these ETB abilities back, so... Wow. So, yeah, our Air Cult Elementals have loved us. The, you know, the Mana Wars are always my friend, I guess. So, yeah, we attack for 2 here. We play this, bounce the Fang Blade, and then attack for 4 in the air next turn unless they draw something. Hi, Salty Gamer. Yep, my stream schedule is very different now. I'm streaming in the afternoons of Saturday and Sunday instead of the mornings. Changing it up. Well, they could sack it to draw a card. So they're trying to find a way to not die to our 2 Air Cult Elementals this turn, basically, is what that's what their plan is. To not die. Okay, didn't work. Thanks, Air Cult Elementals. We haven't gotten to do anything with Krydle yet, which is pretty weird. You know, when you draft 2 of a 2-drop. Maybe that's a good thing. We've managed to win games without Krydle, because he's probably going to have to steal us 1 or 2 at some point. So far, the Air Elementals have stolen us the games, I guess. Good old Air Elementals. Hey, Marvel Kingpin, married life's good. This is a slow hand, but I feel like I can swing it. Let's hope they don't play turn 1 Goblin. Okay. I can live with the turn 1 Pit Trap. Well, that is not something I want to live with, but I have to. I can shut it down if I need to this turn, or something else if they play something better. What do I think? If they're green-white, that Shepherd can definitely be better. Yeah, I think for now I'm going to go after the Shepherd here. Yeah, hit the Shepherd. This is better in most decks, but I feel like it's pretty likely... Yeah. I've been married almost exactly 1 year, so not that long. But we've lived together for, like, forever. Since 2017, so... That's not really that new for us. So, this will be able to kill something, if it's not my Frost Giant. I'm kind of trying... I think basically trading my Windseer for it and getting to scry at least 1 seems okay to me. But maybe it's better to just trade the Death Priest for it, huh? I mean, they're not super likely to use it on my Death Priest is the problem. Yeah, we're just going to go for it with the Seer. Maybe they don't have the 5th land, you know? Nice, we get the Scry 3 critical hit. So a land is good. Definitely want the land next. The question is, how much do I want the other things? They seem okay, but, like... Not amazing. Kind of think I might bottom both of them. The Fang Blade's pretty good. At least blocks well. Oh, I actually kind of didn't want that land. That was stupid, because I have a 5th land. Okay, so they're just going to Owlbear us. Makes sense. Alright, so... I'm going to play this Frost Giant here. I'm hoping it causes problems. We'll attack here. Depends on what you mean by saved, Hefty Lefties. A lot of the animals we take care of are unfortunately sort of hospice cases, so they don't, like, get saved in the sense that they live. But we give them good lives while we can, basically. So... I don't know, we've been doing rodents for like a year, pet rodents for like a year. I think we've done 12 or 13, and then we currently have 4. Okay, so Fangblade seems pretty alright here. I think Fangblade Ghast seems fine. We also do stuff with birds, which we've done for longer, but we don't have them in our home because they're generally wild or dumped domestic birds that we're dealing with. Okay. Well, obviously enough, we don't really want that 7/6 to, like, get to do whatever it wants, so we're going to go ahead and shut that down. I have Ghast in play, so I'm kind of thinking holding onto the Hexblade matters. So I think I will. We could use a drawn card off of our Hexblade, I think. Oh, crap. Okay, well that's... Alright, so we can buy ourselves one turn. That's good news. And actually, they used up treasure, so if they don't have another... If they don't have another land, that would be cool. We've already used up 2 Charmed Sleeps, right? Ooh. Okay, good. They can't play Old Gnawbone this turn. That's good news. That's the good news here. They can do it next turn, though, because they have Neverwinter Dryad. So, we desperately need to find another Charmed Sleep. We don't have that many other things that can beat Old Gnawbone. Wow, that was lucky. To say the least. Okay. Well, we're going to play our Priest here. Pumps up our zombie. You're an elf, huh? I think I still continue to hold on to you. Gosh, I guess we can attack with our 2/5. Why not? I mean, I guess, yeah, why not? Air Cult Elemental does love me, it's true. Seems like I draw back-to-back Mana Wars in a lot of formats. But the Charmed Sleep is even more important here. Whew. So the bad news is this still has a static ability that gives them all kinds of treasure. That's the bad news. And that's pretty bad news, I think. So, yeah. This only works on my instep, which is kind of a bummer. But we'll attack, play an Evolving Wilds. I think I'd keep holding on to the Hexblade. Because if they ever attack me, our Shambling Ghast is going to be pretty nice. But, oh my god. How much mana do they have? They've got to have the Tarask in their deck, right? They must, right? They must have Old Gnawbone and the Tarask as win conditions. Because they have, like, they're mono green, and they have all the ramp that ever existed, more or less. So, that's cool. Play our wilds here. Guess I'm going to grab an island. Ooh. Making a copy of Air Cult Elemental doesn't seem too shabby, does it? Yeah, I think that's where we want to go here. So if they do have, like, the Tarask in their hand, I can stop them from doing it one more turn when I make a copy of our Elemental. Ooh, yeah. So, we're going to go ahead and bounce Circle of Dreams Druid here. Am I getting to a place where I need to play this Hexblade? The Priest pumps all of our skeletons, vampires, and zombies, and also has an ability that gives me a skeleton if a creature died on a given turn. But it has to be my turn. Only my instep. I'm going to hold on to the Hexblade some more. I guess I can kind of attack with the Ghast for free. Yeah, they've got to have the Tarask. Nothing else makes sense, right? Nothing else makes sense. It's like they first picked it and they were like, let's go all in on going into a crazy ramp deck because nobody can beat the Tarask. I think I'm going to attack with the Ghast because it's almost a free attack because I can just get a skeleton and then the Hexblade will draw me a card. Yeah. I could also kill the Circle of Dreams Druid if they block. I think that seems fine. Attack with all 3 of those. Good chance they just take it, I guess, but fine by me. Would I rather have the treasure or kill the druid? That's what we have to ask ourselves here. The treasure lets us draw a card, but killing the druid takes away a massive amount of mana from them. The treasure would let me draw a card with my Hexblade, specifically, if you're wondering what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think we want to kill the creature. And, yeah, we'll kill the Druid. I'm a little worried about it. I mean, they have a lot of mana no matter what, so maybe it doesn't matter, but... We're going to go ahead and play our Hexblade now. We're all out of treasure, so... And we will get a skeleton in our second main phase. I'm not our second main phase, but our instep. So I think that whole exchange goes our way. The only good news about the Tarask is that our Fangblade has Death Touch, so it wouldn't kill us immediately. It would ruin our lives. Don't get me wrong, but it wouldn't kill us. Okay, so here's what they're doing. So you're gonna go in front of that. Death Toucher, 4/4. So yeah, I was gonna say I don't really see a way they can win here. All right, at least you're gonna break even here, and we still haven't gotten to play Krydle, which is weird. So he's liable to win us at least one game at some point. So I think we probably have to mulligan this. You know, even if we draw lands, we're not doing anything. Well, I guess if we draw a swamp, we'd be kind of okay. But yeah, it's ugly. So I think we can hold on to this one. It's also not a pretty one, though. But the Ray of Enfeeblement gives us some interaction. We kind of have to hope we draw blue mana, though. I'm going to put the Ogre back, I think. Although maybe Trickster's Talisman is worse here. I mean, if I draw an island, it's not going to feel bad. Obviously, I can't make a copy of Krydle, but... I can still equip him, though. Yeah. Let's put the Ogre back. We're going to need some draws to go our way here. That is for sure. Hey! That was pretty nice. We actually get to play Krydle. So this is a black-red deck. Our first deck was pretty awesome, except against the two black-red decks that destroyed us. They're not having a crazy fast start, so that's good. Well, it's speeding up a little bit now. Okay. So could equip the Talisman, of course. If I don't play Evolving Wilds, but I kind of think it's going to be worth playing Evolving Wilds here. And we want to use it first so that... I guess we could use it to scry away something on top if we don't want it, but it's probably better to just use it first so we have more control over what's on top. So we'll grab another island here. And then we will attack with our Krydle. We're not actually going to do this, but because we don't need to. Ooh, Vampire Spawn's pretty good here. The life gain's good, and it can trade with that thing. Although, it has Menace, I guess. So, it won't be able to trade very easily, but I still think it's a good draw here. So, we're going to go ahead and play the Talisman. We are in a bit of trouble, aren't we? Because that Armory Veteran with Menace is going to continue its beatdown of us. Making a copy of Vampire Spawn's kind of funny. I may just have to double block it at some point if I don't find something. We're not going to equip the Talisman because we want to be able to play the Spawn. We're going to attack with Krydle here. I guess we could set up a double block and then use... Okay, well that works too. But we could set up a double block and use Ray of Enfeeblement, which could be interesting, but I think we're in okay shape, honestly. Gaining life has been a big deal against this 4-2. Okay, so we take 4 because we can't do anything about it. All right, so yeah, I guess I'm gonna attack with both here and then determine what I want to do. Something's dying here, I think. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Taking 0 by using the Ray is a really poor use of that card. You don't just want to fog a creature by using up a card. Since we don't have a 5th land, I'm putting this on bottom. It's way better to use it to actually kill it. Yeah, this is a lot slower for sure. So we're going to stick Charmed Sleep on this. It's the only threat they've played, so shutting it down seems pretty good. Double blocking and using the Ray would definitely... Oh, crap. Okay. We're in a little bit of trouble now. The clock has just accelerated significantly. Charmed Sleep is real good against Ebb and Death. That part's good news. But yeah, the rest of what's happening is not so good. So we're gonna take 5 here. Yeah, this is not good news. I could equip Vampire Spawn, make it unblockable, make a token, gain back 2, but that just doesn't seem that good. I mean, I guess it does. It's some reach, at least. I guess it's fine. I mean, none of this is fine. It's not where we want to be at all, but I think that's our best move given our situation. Fogging something may end up actually helping us at some point here. So let's put the Talisman here. Go to combat. Attack. Make the spawn unblockable. Hit them for 3. Make a token copy. Drain them for 2. Yeah, I mean, I think that was our best bet. I kind of wish we'd drawn another land that turn, because obviously Air Elemental would really help us. But yeah. So we're gonna block. Go to 5. Ray of Enfeeblement, man. Okay, well now we're in a world of trouble. However, are we able to survive one more turn? What happens if I venture? Doesn't one of them gain me life in the first room? So gaining life. So I could drop them to 3 here. Play Fate's Reversal, gain 1 life. I guess I could also play... No. I mean, Ray of Enfeeblement can keep us alive, plus a block. So maybe I think I just attack for 2 here. And then play Shortcut Seeker and leave up black for the Ray of Enfeeblement. And we'll use the Ray to shrink this down so it doesn't kill us, which is not how you want to use it. But if you have to use it that way, that's fine. And if we manage to hit another mana for our Elemental, we could actually get there. Oh, haste creature is not good news. I think maybe that straight up kills us now. No, we go to 1. So if they swing out here, we go to 1. And we can actually kill them on the backswing, and they just said, good game. Isn't that great? So let's Ray of Enfeeblement the Draco Lich here. Block here, and we go to 2. Or 1. My math was slightly off, but not by enough for us to lose. That's what they get for good gaming, man. That's bad etiquette right there. They were so sure they were going to win. Ray of Enfeeblement did come through. It's definitely better to use as a removal spell, but, you know, in a situation like that, yeah. They were kind of unnecessarily aggressive there. Like, if they really thought they were going to win, they should have just attacked with Ebon Death for sure. Because then I wouldn't have been able to kill them on the backswing, and then I would have needed to draw a land, and I didn't, so... So they would have probably won if things had gone in that direction. Ooh, nice hand. So we've gotten to go off with Krydle in that last game. I mean, he's really what got us there. He kept us alive, drew us what we needed, so we finally got to play him, and we're going to get to play him again this game. Yeah, you never want to use, trust me, Sidoroth, you don't want to use, or Stirot, maybe? Is it Hebrew? But you don't ever want to use it as a fog unless you have to, because using up a card to not take 4 damage, just not worth it most of the time. Unless that damage is going to kill you, and that is eventually what happened. We had to use it. Okay. So, Krydle. It's a little annoying that it makes you target every time, like even when it's irrelevant, but, you know, it's whatever. Okay. We are not going to actually use that. 4th land, and especially at Island, I think is something we're very happy to see on top. Alright, so I think we just slam Charmed Sleep and attack all here. Yeah, I think we'll take another Charmed Sleep, because if we just chain Charmed Sleeps together against their, like, 3 and 4 drops, we're just going to get there. Of course, if they kill Krydle here, it's not going to feel quite as good. We do get a treasure this time. But yeah, I think we just Charmed Sleep. Drops them to 7. Put you on the bottom because I can't play you. It's getting close. I have rolled a d20, actually. It just hasn't been a big d20. I've been an important one. Like, we scryed 3, actually. That was kind of sweet. So here we do it again, and they're pretty much dead from all of this sleeping. I did that, and I did not mean to, but hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us. Oh, wow. Vampire spawn on top? So I told you Krydle would eventually steal us a game, and that's kind of what's going to happen here. Turn 2 Krydle plus all of these tap-down effects is pretty impressive. Yeah, I rolled a d20 on the genie, that's right. Charmed Sleeps and Air Cult Elementals have been very sweet in this deck. I mean, part of it is we've been really lucky when we've drawn them, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, Kreidel can just win games on his own if he played on turn 2, and we did. You know, it just... Especially when you have all of these charmed sleeps and things to back him up, it just ends up turning into a big old problem. My favorite card in the set so far, unsurprisingly, probably the Air Elemental. I had a lot of fun in the first draft with Precipitous Drop was really sweet. Yeah. That's rough on Hindenburg. That's rough. We have it a pretty good first day. I mean, no matter what, we're going to be at least 5-3. So... Ugh. Not a great hand, but we do at least have a 2-drop. So, could be worse. That card, actually, I was about to say, I couldn't remember what it was called, but Trickster's Talisman's been pretty sweet for us when it's shown up. Made a copy of a vampire that drained and made a copy of our air elemental. Alright, so they're playing a long game over there. They're blue-white Venture, which is a slower, grindier Venture deck that likes to go through the Dungeon of the Mad Mage as opposed to the other two, because it has so many repeatable sources like that of Venture. So they can equip that thing next turn, and it's going to be a nightmare, especially because I can't do anything about it. So that's not good. So they'll equip it, attack me. I won't have a good block. They can make a copy and Venture again. I can't wait in my turn. Yeah. So I'm going to bash for 4 here. No good reason for us to block. I mean, just preventing them from getting a copy is just not worth it. I don't... Oh, interesting. I would have been all about that copy if I were them, because you get another Venture trigger. You get a whole card. It'd be pretty sweet. Okay. Activate our wilds and play... I guess we have 3 swamps, so let's get an island. Why not? We could really use a Charmed Sleep. Hey, Shortcut Seeker is actually pretty good, except they can also stick Delver's Torch on this thing, can't they? My god. It does enable a double block at least, and that might be worth it. It probably is. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and play the Seeker here. And if they equip, we double block. If they don't equip, yeah. Let's hope they don't have a bounce spell, huh? Or a trick. Either one would be bad. So they're actually going through the Mines of Fendelver, which may mean they have less ways of abusing Venture, but hard to know. They have a bounce spell here to own us. Is that what the oops means? Or is the oops that they didn't realize their guy would die? They have a fight spell. Not a fight spell, but a pump spell. It only kills one of my creatures, is the good news. It's not great news, though. Okay, so... I guess I play the Genie here. Yeah. Let's hit a 20. Oh. Kreidel seems pretty good. I mean, we have to deal with this somehow before we're really going to be able to be okay, but, you know, till then. So they can just return it to their hand when they block here. When I block, rather. Ooh, they can put a counter on it. The good news is a counter doesn't save it, so we still set up the block. Yeah, that works for me overall, gotta say. So I can actually start sending stuff in with the help of my Cridle, but might not be worth it. It may just be worth Fate's Reversal, getting back our Genie here. Probably is what we want to do right now. Get back the Genie. So we're not very good at venturing. I think we go through the Lost Mine as well. And I think we bottom that. So getting to scry some more is going to be nice value here. I'm also going to bottom that one. And no attacks. We're in pretty good shape. I mean, the bad news is they can, yeah, Secret Door as a mana sink. But overall, kind of like where we stand here. Man, letting them gain the life and stuff is just so bad. I think it's better to kill it. We just don't want them to have things to put Delver's Torch on that are kind of problematic, and that was certainly that. Alright, so let's play Pixie Guide. I think we'll end our turn and cast Contact Other Plane at the end of theirs. We might do it actually in response to a block. Ooh, that's annoying. Okay. So they tap down our 2/5 here, then they can equip. Yeah, that's not good. It's also tapped down permanently. Not permanently, but for longer. Oh boy, this Delver's Torch. Yeah, this time they're going through the Mad Mage dungeon, which, if they ever get to the end, they just win, basically. So we can't really let that happen. We are not blocking. I don't think you want to sack that. Copying the Scion is going to be a problem. Oh, good. Alright, so we're going to Contact Other Plane. Let's hit a 20 here. We do get 2 rolls. We got a 9 and a 7. That's funny. Okay. So we go Cridle. Shambling Ghast. End our turn. Yeah, this isn't good. They're going to rip through the dungeon. I mean, it's going to be a little slow for them, but not that slow. Like, it's really not going to be that slow. And once they get to the end, they are going to win. This is only our second draft. We haven't seen someone make it to the end of this dungeon yet. So I think we block with Pixie Guide and Gas. I think we want to hold on to Cridle. Although, I have another Cridle in my hand, don't I? So, let's actually triple block here. Interesting. So, yeah, let's triple block. If they decide to kill our Gas can actually kill the Scion. I think they're going to kill probably Cridle, but yeah, that's what they did. They're so good at venturing. Okay, well, time for us to start venturing, I guess. Wait, why can't this attack? Oh, because they did that. Okay. Well, we're going to attack for 1. Look out. They're definitely getting to the end of this game. The only thing we can hope for is that they, like, whiff on the ability. Like, because Mad Wizard's Lair is nuts. Like, draw 3, play 2 for free. Not good. Yeah, neither is this. Yeah. So, even though they have to give up their Scion here... Oh, They decided not to, interestingly. Okay, so Kreidl's going to get in there here. If we're going to have any hope, we're going to need some help here. We're going to attack with both of these. We're going to make Kreidl unblockable. I wonder if venturing would be better than this. I mean, that might help us outcard them in the long run, so I guess I'm going to leave it on top. It isn't a bad mana sink to have around. Yeah, not loving that. They're going to scry 3 here. And then they can use one of these to complete the dungeon this turn, so they will be completing it. The good news for us is that I can block here and also kill the priest, so at least we're going to clear out their board, hopefully. Their creatures that can attack anyway. But the bad news is, now they complete the dungeon and they get the amazing reward of draw 3 cards and play 1 for free. Eccentric Apprentice is pretty nice. As is the Windseer. It wasn't completely game-breaking, so if we can draw well enough, we could have a shot here. Oh yeah, that'll be kind of game-breaking though, I guess. Okay, so player Investigator. I think it's going to be better to try to count on the 10 through 20 here than it is to attack with Kreidl. 3, 6, 7. Yeah. Yeah, I think we pass the turn here and plan on using the Arcane Investigator's ability after we block that Windseer. We can't really let the Windseer hit us, so... Eccentric Apprentice is going to be a problem, because it's going to turn something into a 1/1 flyer. It is a flyer. So there's that, but still. Thank God they didn't have Hama Pashar, huh? That would have broken us. Nice, we hit a 20. Too bad we don't get like an extra bonus. Oh, hello, Air Cult Elemental. And Charmed Sleep? My God. Is Charmed Sleep just better here because it permanently shuts the thing down? I think it might be. Yeah, it probably is. I mean, this is going to be a problem too, but at least, yeah. So, although Air Cult Elemental's big enough to sort of be a problem on its own. 2/5. I'm going with the Elemental. I think adding to our board and taking away from theirs is going to be a little bigger than just stopping like one thing. But yeah, we have to block this because if they make a copy, we're pretty much dead. So not entirely dead, but pretty much. This is the sweetest blue-white Venture deck we've seen so far. I guess it's the first one we've really seen. Best of both worlds. Okay, that works out really well. So, I guess I'd rather have them scry and pay 1 more mana. I could just get rid of the token, I guess. That's interesting. I think it's probably better to... Yeah, we're going to bounce the Windseer here. And... even if you double equip this, although this will be a 1/1. So yeah, we'll Charm Sleep the Apprentice. It still gets that powerful effect, but yeah, I don't know. I think they're going to get us here. They're down to 11 cards, and we're still at 12. Gives us a small chance, I guess. They get to scry 2 off of that. They basically know, like, all the cards left in their deck at this point. Ooh, I can start milling them with Krydle. I kind of forgot about that. That is real. That is very real. I like it fine. I don't think there's really anything wrong with having a D20 mechanic in Magic like I guess some people do. I should have been milling them with Krydle all along, man, because doubling the speed at which they lose their stuff is no joke. Okay. Alright. So we're going to attack here. We're going to make Krydle unblockable. Going to make himself unblockable. Mill a card. Zombie Ogre. I guess you help on the ground, but the air is where we really need help. So I don't know that I really want you. I don't think I do. I mean, he's probably better than a land, but we have to hope. We have to hope here. Oh, man. Okay, that's mean. They do draw cards. They're down to 9. They're down to 8 cards. Oh, of course. Well, whatever slim hope we have just evaporated with Nadar coming down and antheming the whole board for them. That giant wasn't going to give me... The zombie wasn't going to give me any card advantage because it has to die in my turn to trigger, so... Yeah, they got us. We don't have an out here. We do not have an out. I think they designed enough of those D20 cards in such a way that none of them, most of them, I should say, some of them do something ridiculous, but most of them don't do much. Like, they made sure to not make, like, I think in design at some point they were probably like, we should make 20 like a game-winning effect or something, and I think somebody must have pushed back to some degree on it, because most of the 20s, they're good, but, like, it's not that exciting, you know? Alright, this looks like a good hand. Combining Krydle and Yuan T Fangblade. You know, got some removal. Looks pretty decent to me. This could be bad news if we're up against another person with like an all-in aggro deck. Seems like, I've heard, it seems like mono red might be a real thing here. Okay, let's go with Krydle. There are a bunch of commons that you can just jam together in a mono red deck that can do lethal in a hurry. And we saw that earlier. And it just seems like that when you really think about it. Like, you have that common choose, like, make something unblockable or be a combat trick card, for example. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty legit. Magic Missile. I guess they're a black-red deck. Not really an all-in aggro deck, like we saw earlier. Yeah, we'll play our Fangblade. Luckily, they're not really running us over after these removal spells. They're just hitting us for 1, which I can live with. Play our Genie. I'd like to scry 2 at least, please. Nice. Ooh, yeah, I think both of these will play well here. I think we want the Vampire first. Do you think this eats yet another removal spell? Giving this Death Touch with, like, the black equipment is pretty gross. That also works pretty well. So now I would lose my Windseer, but I think it's kind of worth it. We're about to outcard them and gain some life. I think I can live with the trade. So we're gonna go Vampire Spawn, Hexblade. Let's hope they don't have a bunch more goblins, because Charm Sleep doesn't really shut down Hobgoblin Bandit Lord, unfortunately, for us. Okay. Is this a case where I want to use Contact Other Plane, like, right away? Because it could draw things? I think it is. Yeah, we're just going to do it now. Well, we get the weakest mode. However, we also hit Fate's Reversal, which is pretty good. So we can do something with the mana we have. I think the Windseer looks better here than Krydle. Yeah, we'll take the Windseer. The Ogre's actually going to be a pretty good body here, too. So, yeah, I think we want the Mine. We're never going to get close to, like, the big effect here, most likely. So, we'll just go for the one that has a decent reward. I guess we do only have 2 blue mana, which is kind of a bummer. But I still probably bottom that Evolving Wilds. We are a little vulnerable this turn, that's for sure, but we would have been no matter what we did. We didn't really have another option. The Ogre looks like a pretty good body here. It's probably what I'm going to play first. Try to sort of stabilize, and then the Windseer can come down and maybe do some stuff in the air. Uh-oh. Well, I'm glad we killed the guy we killed, the Death Toucher. The guy who does 1 to blockers is what I mean. Alright, so I think we go ahead and block. Go for the trade there. We drew more blue anyway. How about that? So, Zombie Ogre looks a lot less good all of a sudden. It's probably better to play Windseer. Because now that they have Death Touch, the Ogre's just not that good. Trickster's Talisman. Setting us up with 2 guys in the air does seem kind of appealing. Yeah. I think we'll leave that. I think we'll Charm Sleep the Bandit Lord here. So, at least that ability's offline, yeah. We kind of need them to run out of creatures so that Reaper's Talisman stops doing things, but they're very likely to have more creatures is the bad news for us. You know, like the one we really don't want them to have at all. So we just have to take this. We can't block it now without our creature just dying on the spot. So we're not going to. Such a gross combo. Okay, so we're going to play Trickster's Talisman. We're going to equip the Talisman. We're going to attack with our Windseer. Am I going to block at all? I guess holding the Hexblade back is kind of good, but if they don't attack with this, they won't gain life. So I kind of think I'm just going to swing in with both. They don't have the mana to level this up. Yeah, we're going to swing in with both here. Yeah. Drop them to 15. Sack the Talisman. Scry 2. Death Priest seems way too slow here. Pumps our Vampire, which I guess matters a little. I mean, it would also give me bodies, but I feel like I need like answers. Yeah, we'll bottom both. I mean, we could try to race them in the sky, but it's not exactly gonna go well. I guess they're still gonna only attack with the Javelin here. I guess the Ogre can block it. So yeah, we're like trying to race here, but we don't really have much hope of winning that race. Because life gain. Oh, even our Ogre can't block it, so I mean the Death Touch is... Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna play our Ogre. I guess I'm gonna attack with all three? Yeah. Probably gives us the best chance, sadly. Yeah, we'll attack with all three. If they double block and kill my Vampire spawn, I can play my Ogre and at least get another dungeon room. Yeah, so we'll kill the Hexblade. Try to. Drops them to 11. We play our Ogre. We have a little bit of a chance here. A little bit. Keyword. Do I want a Goblin or a Treasure Token? Definitely a Goblin, right? The only thing is, this -4, -0 thing is pretty sweet right now, but I think we still go for the Goblin. Yeah, not having a way to blow up artifacts is not good. Reaper's Talisman has been... It was really good in our first deck of the day, and it's really good here. I think we just take it. There's still a ways away from actually using this. If something dies, I lose another life, so... I may as well take it. There's lots of things that can kill us here, but I think it's still what we needed to do. I think it gives us our best chance. I mean, we already have a very slim chance, so... And it was not helped by drawing that. Okay. Attack with both flyers. Yeah, we have to leave back 2 blockers, basically. So if they kill a creature, I do get another room, and that could end up mattering, but they're not going to. Yeah, that's another treasure deck beating us, huh? What was my record? Oh yeah, we're dead now. Yep. What was our record against treasure today? Like 0-3? 1-3 maybe? I think maybe we beat one treasure deck. Alright, so our overall record was good though. We went 6-3 and 5-3, and I'll take that. So